Here's something a little bit different today. I'm trying to get this quad topper going. I've got some rushes to go and cut in one of the fields I'm going to plough. That's been sitting a long time, as is everything, and it just doesn't want to turn over fast enough. So I'm going to pull the starter motor out of it here and give it a little clean up, see if that'll help turn it over a little bit quicker, and we'll see if we can get it fired up and running. Now, these old 12 volt, well, old, they're in quads and everything. These small 12 volt starters are real easy to take apart. There's only 2 bolts that hold them together, which is usually these two. Can be in any orientation. You can then pull the center and the back out of the starter, and you'll be able to see the brushes and the windings and the contacts, and you'll see if anything needs cleaned up. And if it's dirty, give it a little clean, put it back together, and you can usually get away with going. Worst case, it usually needs new brushes, unless it's completely banjaxed. So part, end cap, and bearing off. Give it a pull. Out it comes. So these are your windings. This is your contact. This one smells a little iffy, so it probably needs a good clean. Then here we have our brushes. There's 4 of them in this motor. And inside we have our magnets. So I'll give them a clean up, and we'll see if we can put it back together, see if it spins any faster. Usually does. Just a little bit of wet and dry paper. Clean up the front face here. Clean up around here so that you've got nice clean copper the whole way around. You can see there's like a bit of scum on this one, and that should solve the problem. So you see that contact surface is now nice shiny copper again. So that'll help the electricity go through it. Gonna give these brushes a little clean now. So you could go into the whole thing of going in here, unscrewing them and taking them out, but it's just as easy to hold it with your finger and place well for this starter anyway. Just give the top a little tiny rub. Now, not too much, because if you rub this brush down too much and it loses the contour, it'll not contact the starter in the right way. So literally just a little gentle rub like that, just enough to take the scum off. Brush your finger, just a gentle rub. I think these brushes might actually come out as a hole in this one. Oh yeah, look at that. Makes life easy and easier. So we've taken the brush cartridge out. So what you want to do is just, if it plays ball, hold the brush in with your finger. And then just try not to lose any springs. Give the end a little tiny rub like that. And not too much, because if the brush loses the contour, it'll not contact right and you'll end up losing power again. So then that's all cleaned out. We'll just check our magnets aren't overly dirty or broken. They're fine. Make sure that there's no obvious damage in the windings. That looks okay. And then we'll just go through the opposite procedure to put it back together. So slide in this end. Watch you don't get your fingers nipped. Gotta be careful of that. And then we want to take our brushes. This is the hardest part. And get all these in. So first things first, we slide all our brushes in and then slide it on. Brushes in, 3 brushes. Oh, there you go. 4 brushes in. From memory, This is not easy. I'm sure there is a trick for this. I'm just not a good enough mechanic to know it. Goes on like this, I think, from there. No, upside down. That helps too, doesn't it? Goes in like this. First stage in. I'm just going to push each brush over and into where it belongs. Small flat screwdriver would be an idea for this. This might make life easier. Be very careful not to damage your brushes with a screwdriver if you are doing it this way. Now, that's back on. And I want to set this the right direction. So that the terminal's going the way it was before. Oh, forgot the end cap. Right, that's it back together. All we have to do now is put it back in the machine, see does it work. Now if we're in luck, should work. Maybe not. Perfect.